Hello, hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stamping A to Z. I'm Linda Gibbs. I'm your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. If you live in Canada and you're looking for a demonstrator, I am happy to help in any way that I can in terms of Stampin' Up! Or otherwise, you never know. Yeah, Stamping A to Z is my weekly live that I do. It all started during COVID as kind of a entertainment, get friends to pull out their stuff, get my community going. And I went from A to Z through all the tools, all the how-tos and whatnots, and you can find them all here on my Facebook page. So if you're new, welcome, and you can always go back and look at all of those videos. It's got everything that you would want to know how to use, from glue to adhesive to dyes, like beginner, and now we've kind of I go all over the place wherever. Sometimes it's technique. Hi, Linda. Sometimes it's cards. Today, actually, I don't know if I'm challenging myself. I'm trying to use new colors, but I also decided to use the mini catalog. There's so many ideas. These new catalogs that they're putting out they're full of inspiration, full of ideas, and they're great to have. So people always say, oh, don't bother giving me a paper like the catalog, but if you have it in your hands and you look through it, it's got ideas galore. So there's 4 color combos in the mini catalog. I'm doing 3 cards today, so 3 of the color combos. One I actually kind of used last week, so I had gotten inspiration from there. So yeah, and I'm going to be using the Sophisticated Sled bundle, which is a bundle out of the online exclusives. I hadn't gotten it, and then I saw so many cute. So I waffled. It was one I wanted, but it was, I don't know, it didn't make the cut. And anyways, I ended up getting it down the line. Reminder, so for Paper Pumpkin, this month, if you are a new subscriber, for new subscriptions, not prepaid, but for subscriptions, you can get 40% off your first month. So if you even just want to try it, you can sign up, subscribe. It'll give you your 40% off for that first month, which would be the October, like they bill it kind of just after October 10th. So 11th, 12th-ish, they'll bill it. It should be 40% off. And then I think you have to enter a code, holiday 40. So you'll enter the code. It's backwards. Yeah, I know. Gotta love cameras. I'll flip it around and you can see it, but the code is holiday 40. And yeah, you can always cancel after that. So once you're billed, you can cancel if you don't want November's, and just opt out. If you decide you like them, you can keep going with them or do a prepaid or whatever suits your fancy. The other awesome thing today only, we have free shipping for orders over $100. So if you have a list and it's over $100, get your order in today, because you'll be saving basically 11% on your order, because it's changed. It's 10 something, almost $11, up to $100, and then anything over $100, it's basically 11% on that. So you're saving an extra 11. And for those of you who are demonstrators, you get your 25% plus the free shipping. So it's even better of a deal. So yeah, let me flip you around. I will also remind you that we have our Highland. Hopefully it's nice and warm in Vegas. What was I going to say? Oh yes, the scrapbooking new items that were released. So if some of those are on your list, it's a great day to get them. I wish I had ordered just one of the scrapbooking kits. It's coming tonight. It's not here yet. I was hoping I'd be able to show you today, but I can't, because Stampin' Up! Has some new 12 by 12 papers, and they're, the two sides are different shades, so a lighter shade and a darker shade, so they're 2-shade paper, and you can do some cool techniques. I'll probably play with it next week, but I just wanted to remind you to look at those items if you're interested in looking at them, because it is free shipping today, and today only. All right, let's get turned around and see. I still cannot figure out how to make this zoom in, so I apologize there. Now you can see this the right way, hopefully. Let me pull it up now that it's on the right camera. Fun stuff. Okay, let's see if I can pull up my video. Make sure I can see comments at least. Now I can see comments, so that's good. I don't have to refresh all the time. I just have to remember to look up and watch the comments. I think I did the whole live last week. I don't know which week it was, but I realized I was like so enthralled in what I was doing. I turned it off. I was like, oh, I didn't even look to see if there was good. Luckily, I don't think there was, maybe one. But yeah, it was a really quiet week, so that's okay. So the Holiday 40, if you're interested in trying the paper pumpkin, it looks like it's going to be a specialty box, which is cool. I forgot to print out. So it's still part of, if you have the dies, no, it's a new set of dies. That's the other thing that was coming. So there's a new set of dies for, what are we? So October, November, December. And I don't remember what they are. I ordered them. They're coming. But yeah. So, and if you want to know more about the paper pumpkin, I did just do a video on it not long ago, so you can take a look at it, or you can always message me and ask your questions. This is the scrapbooking brochure. I printed it because there's no catalog. But these are all the new scrapbooking kits and the double-sided paper. And there's some really nice stamp sets with like wording that you can use for your scrapbooking, which is kind of cool. And a lot of them go with suites that are already in the mini catalog. So that's cool. So if you're trying to build a list, take a look at that. Don't miss out. Okay, so this is the current mini or winter, September to December catalog. Page 51 has 4 Christmas cards, 4 colorful ways. So I kind of did this color combo last week with my, the deer, what's it called? Fun, reindeer fun. It's my favorite card. My absolute. So I've already done this color combo. So I'm skipping that and we're doing the other 3. So if you missed this, go back and look at last week's. It was lots of fun to do. So we're going to do these 3. For those of you who might be a demonstrator who are on the fence about becoming a demonstrator, one of the advantages we have is we can go into our system and there is we have access to a recipe book. So it basically has the recipes for all the cards that you find in the catalogs. It doesn't tell you how to make them, but it tells you the colors that were used, the stamp sets, dies, any embellishments. So I find it handy. So like for this, I was like, okay, I think this is real red. Pretty sure this is Granny Apple Green, but I wasn't sure if this was shaded spruce or garden green or what exactly this was. And then with this one, I wasn't sure if this was pecan pie. And then this one as well, it was kind of hard to tell what they were. So I went and looked them up. So this is real red, Granny Apple Green, and garden green. This one is basic white, pecan pie, and black, basic block, I think is what it's called. And then this one is Cherry Cobbler, Pretty Peacock, Shaded Spruce, and Wild Wheat or Gold, if you want to glam it up. So it's kind of, if you're not, I'm always looking for color combo inspirations. I'm not the best. I'll try and put colors together. I actually made myself color cards, and I try and kind of see if they'll go together, but a lot of times I'll make a card and I'm like, I don't know if I like that. And even today, I'm going to be switching up one of my colors, you'll see, because I'm not totally crazy about how it looks. So sometimes it's just a matter of playing, but this is a good start, and then you can kind of take it from there. So the first card I'm going to do is the Christmas Chic. I'm not doing that card, I'm just using those colors. I have pulled a couple other things other than the, oh, I forgot to show you the actual sophisticated sled bundle. So this is the stamp set. It is photopolymer, so clear. And then it's a fairly big die set. And what I really liked about it, I'm totally into this new, I don't know if it's new. It's been out for a while. I've just jumped on the bandwagon because I've always avoided the little tiny pieces of dies. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be such a pain to cut all of these and then piece it all together. But I did do a video not long ago about puzzle piecing, and it's actually quite relaxing, especially if you do it in bulk. And this one's really cool. I will show you as I build it. Oh, it's not this card yet, but there's all the pieces of skates, pieces of sled that you can put together. There's a cute little bird. So it's a really good kind of all around set. And we're going to start with, so I've got my basic thick cardstock. I took a piece of black, and I don't know if you can see, it's hard to see the black on black. It's got the swirl, which is from the, I think it's in the annual catalog, the So Swirly embossing folder. It's one of the really big ones. So you could do a couple at a time and cut them down. So that's just a background piece. Then I've got this wood grain piece as my, it kind of pulls out the pecan. You could use this side too. We'll see, maybe I'll try that. And I cut it out with the Deckled rectangles. And then I'm going to stamp, I'm just gonna show, I pre-cut everything, so hopefully it'll be a little faster than normal. So I've got a piece of basic white, and then I've got my 3 stamps. I'm using this one and this one right now, and then I'm going to be using this one on another card, but I'm gonna show you the reason I have it in the Misty here, or if you have your Stamparatus, is because I find when I use the Memento black, maybe there's a better black out there. I should try and use the old archival one. So you'll see, I'll put it down, and you kind of have to let it soak into the paper, but I find that it's never like black, it'll, oh, or I'll miss a whole heel. So that's a nice part where you can go back, but see how you've got like, I don't know if you can see that, some light spots and some darker spots. Since the black is really part of the card on this, I want the black to really stand out and be solid. If you do not have a positioning tool, you can always, I find the easiest other way to fix and get a really solid black is to use the black blends markers and just go in and color in whatever, like, so this heel, for some reason, there must be a bubble or something. Doesn't like to stamp. So now I'm pretty good. I'm happy with that. But if you didn't have the ability to stamp multiple times and you weren't happy with the solidness of the black, it's the most forgiving to go in with the blends. You could use a black marker, but the blends, because they kind of spread, I don't know, I just find it easier to use. So I've got my images, and then I'm going to cheat, and I've pre-cut my images here. So I'm using, oh, this is from a different set. I'll show you in a sec. And then I move my skates here. Okay, so this is from this bundle. Oops. So I have the Deckled rectangles that I used. This is the Christmas labels bundle. It's a really great kind of everything. It's not just Christmas, which I like because it's a hot cocoa day. And then it only has 4 dies, but you can kind of cut them up and create different colors. Within, you can kind of take, if you just want hot cocoa or Christmas, you could put that just here and cut out the banner, or not stamp the other parts. So you can kind of go to town with that. I'm using the Warm and Cozy. I don't know. I looked at it after and I'm like, I don't know if Warm and Cozy goes with skates. I don't think many people would think of Warm and Cozy with skates, but for some reason these colors make me think Warm and Cozy. And skating, you usually then go by the fire and have hot cocoa after. So I'm still going to use Warm and Cozy. I'm using my pecan pie blends, and since we have white, black, and pecan pie, I'm going to leave the berries white, but I'm going to bling them up in a second using our enamel effects, which I hardly ever pull out, and I really should. And at Christmas time, it's all the more reason to pull it out for the snow and bling. And we have the red, and we have all sorts of great colors now. So I'm just doing the leaves. I was thinking of like a magnolia wreath when I decided to do this with the pecan pie. I really like the magnolia leaves for Christmas. And it's funny, I can't remember who, someone posted a picture of a magnolia tree. And I had no clue what one looked like. I've seen the beautiful magnolia wreaths and just like the leaves and stuff, but I'd never seen, I don't even know if I realized it was a tree versus a shrub versus anyways. All that to say, this is my magnolia wreath. And these leaves they look like 2 different sets of leaves with the different shapes. The one is more magnolia realistic, but you know, we're just going with it. Okay, I'm not going to color this whole thing or you guys are going to get bored. I used the pearlized white enamel effects, and I just came in and I did the berries. Now obviously I'm going to have to show you my finished card because this isn't going to, you have to let it dry, and depending how thick of a button you do, the longer it'll take to dry. So I don't know if you can see, I pull it up and it's quite pointy. I don't know if you can see that. It's almost like a chocolate chip looking kind of point, but it does kind of sink in and become rounded as the gravity takes effect. So don't worry about it being weird looking. I'm going to leave my skates just the white and the black, which is why I wanted to have a really solid black print. And then with this one, I'm going to remember today to use my embossing buddy, because I always forget when I'm on film for some reason. And I have the Warm and Cozy here. And I'm going to emboss it in black. And then once I did that, I was kind of like, oh, maybe I should have embossed the black part of the skates and the wreath. I don't want to do the wreath though, because unless I do it after the fact, because if you use your blends on top of embossing powder, it wrecks your blends, so you don't want to do that. But it made me feel like it needed more shiny black, but you'll see for yourself. Oh, let me get, I'm just gonna pour it over here. And I didn't realize, and so maybe you guys didn't realize, we have new embossing powder. It's no longer Stampin' Up! Brand, and maybe it's by the same people, I don't know, but I've seen people using the gold. It's in the new catalog, and I don't know how long it's been, because I have old embossing powder that I still use, so I haven't bought any in a while. I just ordered, so that's another thing that's coming. I ordered the metallic one because I've been seeing people using the gold, and I find my old, hopefully you guys can hear me over over top of the heat gun. I've been using my old gold, and I always find it was very dull, and I wished it was brighter. And from what I can see in people's videos, it looks like it is quite a bit brighter. It's like a Wow brand or something. So I did buy, they come in there's two different 3-packs. Oh, good, you can hear. One is the metallics. So I believe it's gold, silver, and copper. And then the other one is white, clear, and black. So I bought the metallic ones just to see. So there's my Warm and Cozy. And then, oh, I just stuck my fingers in there. Whoopsie. Okay. We'll finish that later. I'll show you the finished card after I wipe my fingers and not make a mess everywhere. So here is the finished card. So it's very simple, and just pecan pie, black, and white. Simple but pretty. I really love these colors. It's especially, I mean, it's a winter card, but right now with fall, I don't know, I love these colors. So I might have to make more cards in the Christmas chic. I think it should just be chic because it doesn't necessarily need to be Christmas. All right, next card. Which one do I want to do next? Well, I will do, which one shall I do? Let's do the Glam Tidings. So it's supposed to be rich jewel tones, which is totally true of those colors. So for this one, pardon all the blends, and I don't even know if I need all of those now. I don't think I need, oh yeah, I do. I took the gold, what are they called? Brushed gold cards and envelopes. You might have them from last year. I believe they were in last year's mini, or even the year before. I think it was last year's. And it is now in our annual catalog. So if you don't have them, you can find them in the annual catalog. If you have them, go find them and pull them out, because they're great for Christmas cards. So I cut my card in half because I always find that their cards are not as thick as our cardstock, and I don't like floppy cards. I don't mind it, especially if I put enough layers on, but I also, because there's gold on both sides, I feel like it's a waste to have it on the back. So why not put it on both? The only problem is then I don't have enough really pretty envelopes to go with, but that's okay. I can put it in a plain white envelope and deal with that. So I've got a half a piece of cardstock. I'm going to start by, I tried to make this card and I was trying to use it with the white and it just was throwing me off and I didn't like it. So I decided that it needed one of the colors to be added to it because I didn't have a lot of the jewel tone. Like once you see what I've done, it's a very small amount of the jewel tones that I had. So I find adding this in just kind of helped finish off everything. So it just came in. This is the shaded spruce. And it might look blotchy right now, but don't worry about the blotchiness because as it dries, it smooths out. I'll show you my finished one, which started out looking like this. And now it is pretty darn smooth. So if you're worried about that, don't be worried. It will go away. I'm just gonna spray a bit of alcohol to help clean up my mat here. I have some glue from before. Oh, hang on, I've got quite a bit of glue. Where did I put the alcohol? Let's get this glue off of here. I still don't have my baby wipes and I really miss them. I need to get to Costco. Okay, now hopefully I can safely craft without getting green everywhere. So we've got that, and then I have pre-stamped a sled. So there's two options with this set. You can stamp a sled, or you can make a sled using the pieces from the dies. My next card, it's going to be using pieces. So I wanted to kind of try and use as much. Bye, Yolande. I wanted to try and use as much of the bundle so you could see all of it, rather than otherwise I was going to use the sled on everything, the die sled, because it's so cute. But I wanted to use everything. So I'm going to use the wild wheat here, the light one, and it actually kind of comes out a bit like a wood tone, kind of like oaky, I guess, because oak kind of has that gold coloring. So it worked quite well. So if you don't like coloring, then maybe the die cut sled on a colored piece of cardstock is more up your alley. There's options galore. I go through periods of coloring, not coloring, stamping, or like the stencils. Those are a game changer. I love the stencils and just using the blending brushes, because I don't consider myself a coloring expert. Can I stay in the lines? Sure. But maybe because sometimes my thumbs and hands and arms are not happy, so coloring sometimes can be not so fun. So that was all the light, and then I just came in and I kind of put some dark where the knots are, just to kind of give it a bit of dimension. And then it all, if it's too splotchy because it's dried too much, you can go over it with the light one again, but I think it's fine. And then I've got nails. My cutout piece of, what do you call this? Swag. I'm not gonna take the time to color it because, you know, you guys know how to color. It's not a video on how to color. And then I've cut 2 of these branches in the Pretty Peacock and the Shaded Spruce. You could put them either way, the green on top or the blue. And I will show you the finished product here. So here's the finished one. So you can see how it's not so smooth, and here there's still a little bit of like darkness, but it's much more smooth throughout. And I used the frame from the Wildflower Designs dies. So that's this frame here. It cuts out an inside piece, and then it also cuts out the frame piece. So I used the frame in the Pretty Peacock, and then this was the Shaded Spruce, and then we've got the Pretty Peacock and Shaded Spruce again. We have the Cherry Cobbler bow, and so I decided to repeat the Cherry Cobbler here. And I cut down my card. I cut a bit of the white off so you could see the Pretty Peacock back of the card. And I just stamped it on a small strip and cut the pieces. So that is Glam Tidings. So you can see theirs and mine. You know, so you can, I mean, I did copy the fact that they used the gold card. I was gonna use gold. I had originally started with this because I told you I wanted to use the sled on everything, and then I was like, no, I need to do the sled stamped. And then I tried to do the sled all blue, and that just was horrible. And then I realized the white wheat worked. So you can see, like, things don't just come together and happen easy peasy, snap your fingers and it's good. It's a process, and everybody has their own kind of likes and dislikes and their own perfectionist tendencies or non-tendencies. So everyone will be happy with something different at different levels. So just, if you're ever struggling, I know I struggle sometimes, just be patient with yourself. Look through the catalog for ideas. Sometimes I find like just maybe doing something, organization in the craft room kind of helps, like take your brain away from having to come up with something, but you're still kind of looking at the stuff, and sometimes ideas pop up that way. I'm just gonna set these aside because I need the Misty here. I didn't realize how dirty I used red, and guess what? Now this grip mat is all stained. Red is just its own, it leaves its mark on everything. So I'm going to use the sketched plaid background stamp. This is in the annual catalog. So last week I used the plaid embossing folder, which has so many different ways to use it. This, you could probably do just as many things with it as well. Then I'm gonna take a piece of basic white and try and center it. And then, so on my original, I had used garden green. For this one, I'm going to try the granny apple green because I don't know, the green I felt is throwing me off in the other one. And maybe it's just because I had this picture in my head of what I was going for. I'd seen some really nice plaid in the Iconic Designer Series paper. I don't have that paper. It was out of stock the last time I put an order in. It's back in stock now, so I might try and order it today. I don't know. Now that I can make my own. But anyways, it was a really nice plaid. And so I kind of had that look in my head. And the garden green just wasn't. That's funny. This is almost as dark as the garden green, but I'll show you the difference. I did try to rotate it or slightly stagger it to see if I could do two different colors, and that was a disaster. It's in the garbage. I'm not even going to show you. If you really want to see it, you can ask to see it. It's right at the top there, but so then I'm going to use a ruler and my marker with real red, and where there's the big spaces, I'm going to come in and like I'm eyeballing the middle. I'm not measuring it. As I don't know if you can tell, these lines are not like perfect lines. They're kind of like drawn lines, and so I don't feel like it needs to be. If you want smaller lines, you could use the other end. And then I'm going to do the other side, so I'm turning it 90 degrees. Oops. So this probably isn't a card that you would want to do in bulk, although it doesn't take that long. It's just, there's like a bump in my ruler is bent. I need to get a straight ruler. Okay, so now I've got a whole different looking plaid with just a stamp and a few lines done with a marker. So I feel like, okay, I'll put them side by side after. So I took a real red background, so I'm gonna have that there. And then I took, whoop, I'm dropping my stuff. Another piece of basic white, and I embossed it with the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder, which is in the annual catalog. And so that's gonna go on there. Here, let me just glue these down, and then while I put the other piece together. See, I'm going to put them side by side to compare the other green. Okay, so we've got our plaid and our snowflake, and then we need our sled pieces. So here I've got some early espresso because I wanted it to be like, I guess it could have been black, but kind of like the wrought iron, which I guess is more black. I was thinking like oil rub bronze. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. And then you've got all the pieces and parts to the sled. So if some of the pieces are stuck, you can poke them out. I think I left, oh no, I did take them out. I was gonna say, I think I left them in. Maybe it was on the blue one I had done. I didn't realize that these pieces were extras. You can leave the holes in if you like the wood. Maybe you put in wood, what do you call them? The little wood plugs for the screws. So that's one piece. And you've got the other piece of the sled here. And then we've got, so then we have the, maybe it's because I put the granny apple green on top. Maybe that's what was throwing me off. Now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, and then we have the skates that I was talking about. So these are so cute. If I can get them out. So you've got, I've cut out the blades in silver foil, and you can just glue them on. If you don't like to glue, you can always use the, sorry, I'm looking for my tweezers. I just used them for the heat embossing. Where did they go? Oh, here they are, under my ruler. You can use the adhesive sheets, which I showed when I did the puzzle piecing stuff about these kind of dies, which makes your life much easier and ungluey. But if you don't mind gluing, then you can glue as well. I need to get another pair of a sharper tweezer. But so you can see it's not difficult to put in. And then the laces are even easier. I'll show you. You don't even have to glue them down if you're using dimensionals, because there's a slit here in the skate, and it just slides in to that slit. You could use a different color if you're wanting more color. Whoops. Don't pull it back out. And then what I find the easiest is just to take a couple dimensionals. I don't know where this dimensional pack came from. It's really not as nice as the usual. I don't know if it was from a kit, but it's like plasticky, and anyways, it's really big anyway. So I'm just putting them on here so it's holding the laces in place and it's popping up my skates at the same time. So I'm not gonna put that all together. And then I just took some white baker's twine to hang the skates. And I will, oops, show you the finished card as they all fall down. So here's the finish. So this one I did with the garden green plaid and the red marker. Words not coming to my mouth. And here are the skates. And so I just tied some baker's twine. I added the little, what are these called? Cherry cobbler and pearl adhesive back. So they're actually cherry cobbler, but you know, they're transparent enough that you can't really tell that it's on real red. So I use those. You could always use the white ones if it bothers you that it doesn't quite match. But yeah, there's all the pieces and parts. So that's the sled. Isn't that so cute? So I know it's not finished. Maybe I'll have to post. Actually, now that I'm seeing it, I think I like the garden green better. I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe I need to put this one on top of here. And if I put a skate here, let's see. What do you think? I'm thinking the garden green might be the better one. I might actually go in and make a couple of these lines garden green with a marker. And then I'll have the two greens and a red. Maybe I'll try that. Oh, but now I've got it on the red. Oh well, I'll leave it. I'm overthinking. Let me know what you think. Which one do you like better? The garden green or granny apple green? Let me know. All right, so those are my 3 cards for today. And that is how I used the colors that they gave us and kind of spun it into my own, which is this is the garden green one. Sorry, there's a lag in the in the video. This is the granny apple. So the one that's not finished is the granny apple, and the one that's finished is the garden. So I don't know, can you guys hear Aspen's in the background moaning and groaning? We're about to go for a walk. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe once I'm finished, maybe what I'll do, I'll finish it and like it'll have all the same finishings, and then I'll take a picture of both and post them, and maybe I'll like it more once it's finished. And you can put your 2 cents in then too. All right, let me know which one of these color combos you like best. Do you like traditional? Do you like the chic? Do you like the glam? What's your kind of go-to color scheme? Do you have a go-to color scheme for Christmas cards? All right, I have, so my monthly club is starting in October. It'll be the 3rd Thursday of each month at 7 p.m. I have also a couple classes. I'm almost finished making the flyer. I will email that out. So if you, I will also post it probably on my social media. So you'll know all the details. And if you're already in the club from last year, I will post it in our Facebook group as well. So have a great rest of your week. And I'm not sure if I will be live next Wednesday. We might be heading to the lake. But I will post a thing. And even if, I'll try and post something, whether I'm here or not. It just might not be alive. All right. Have a great rest of your week. Maybe see you next week. Maybe see you in 2 weeks. Bye.